Okay, I'm sharing the screen with you. Uh, in the last lecture, we have studied about the losses in the transformer and how by reducing the losses, we can make our transformer more efficient. Okay. See, basically, once more, I would like to revise the topic. See, what we are studying. We are studying our fourth unit, which is the efficiency of electrical systems. Okay, so what we are basically reading and we are basically studying different components of the electrical system, in which if we will increase if we will make certain provision, then we will be able to increase the efficiency of these systems, and therefore we will have a more efficient and energy economical system, energy efficient and economical system. Okay, there are in the very first lecture I have told you about the many aspects and advantages of energy efficient system. So it is very much important as an engineer for all of us to make our system, if we can, more energy efficient, as it will lead to many more advantages. So in today's lecture, like our previous lecture, we will study about the losses in the electrical motors, which are again a very important component of electrical systems. So let's start with the topic. In today's lecture, we are going to study these different aspects under the electrical motors. So we will have a look on types of electrical motor which we are having, the different losses in induction machine, and the efficiency of motor. What are the different parameters which are governing the motor efficiency, and what is the main basic formula of that? And finally, the energy efficient motor, what actually energy efficient motor means and how we can achieve it. So electrical motor, you all are very well aware that they convert electrical energy into mechanical energy. You will provide electrical energy as an input and you get mechanical energy as an output. They operate by the interaction of magnetic field and winding current. You are very well aware of that thing, that okay, your winding three-phase supply has been provided, and rotating magnetic field has been developed, and this rotating magnetic field is responsible for the final torque, which is which leads your motor to move. And it can operate in both motoring and braking mode, and it is you can see that you have many application of electrical motor in your daily life, as in fan, as pump, machine tools, etc. So the main two type of electrical motors which we are having and which we are very well aware of are AC motors and your DC motors. Let's have a look on the basic of these motor. In AC motor also we have two main kind of motors, and which are like used very popularly, are induction motor and your synchronous motor. Again, in induction motor we have these two type of motors, like you can have single phase motor, or you can have three phase motor. Again, DC motor, you will have these different kind of a motor, which comprises permanent magnet DC motor, your separately excited DC motor, series filled wound DC motor, shunt filled wound DC motor, compound motor. All these motors are having different characteristics and operating characteristics, and depending on these operating characteristics, the application for which they are using can be decided. One more thing is here is, see, in these different kind of motor, what is the basic difference? It is in their construction regarding the placement of winding. And see, our the big part of our load is comprises of induction motor. So we normally talk more about induction motor, as the load which the type of motor at the load side are mainly induction motor. So we will mainly focus on the losses in induction machine. which is electrical losses due to heat produces in the stator and rotor winding. That is your copper loss. See, if you have you got a revision of your transformer losses, then many losses are same. And that class also, what I have told you is, see, the basic type of losses will remain same. The only difference is, as your transformer is a heavy static device, it doesn't have any mechanical losses. Okay, so motor is a rotating component, so it will have electrical losses which is there in your transformer, but at the same time it will also have your mechanical losses. Okay, so if you have read clearly about your transformer losses, then you have already covered a big part of your machine losses also. Okay, the only thing which is going to add up is your mechanical losses. So losses in electrical machine is basically the electrical losses due to heat produced in the stator and rotor winding, and magnetic losses in the iron due to hysteresis and eddy current. You have already know about what is hysteresis loss and what is eddy current loss, so we not need to discuss it again and again, because the reason of their production and the cause will remain same. But here, see, what I have told you is one more thing has been added, that is mechanical loss, which is due to the friction in the bearing and ventilation, which is not there in the case of your transformer. And again, we have these stray load losses. All the stray load losses are not much popular in transformer, but I have already given you an idea about stray load losses and dielectric losses. So you are aware of these stray load losses. So losses in induction motor is again divided into two category: fixed losses and variable losses, which are also this category is also there in your transformer losses. Okay, fixed losses are the one which are there whether they are not variable in nature, so they are basically dependent on the construction part. Okay, what kind of winding you are using, how much gap is there, okay, and how much leakage flux is there. So but in variable losses, they are variant, they are basically in proportional to your load. They exist there, but when the load is changing, they are also changing. So due to these variable losses, only your that time what we have studies is, if you want to know the efficiency of your practical transformer, what we need to calculate, we need to calculate the all day efficiency. We can't calculate the efficiency just like that, okay, output upon input. Because, and why we need to calculate the all day efficiency, we are considering 24 hours, because as the load is constantly changing, you at any point of time, your efficiency, the efficiency which you are calculating is not will not match to your actual efficiency of the transformer. So you need to calculate the all day efficiency. So that was the concept of a transformer. But in if we will consider the losses in induction motor, then again it is divided into two parts, that is your fixed losses and your variable losses. Okay, so in constant losses, what do you have? You have these mechanical losses and your iron or core losses. Just see, this part has been added, which is not there in the case of transformer, but in the transformer the same thing was there, the iron or core losses was there. So iron losses, again, you are very well aware upon hysteresis losses, eddy current losses. So what are hysteresis losses? This is due to the magnetization and demagnetization of the core. Okay, so due to this, some stresses develop, and due to this stress, some losses are there, and that will lead to your hysteresis losses. If we talk about eddy current losses, then we have this leakage flux, which will eventually lead to your circulating current, and these circulating current will lead to some losses, which are known as your eddy current losses. Again, you have these mechanical losses, which are due to the friction in the bearing and ventilation. Losses are slightly with load, very slightly. So very slightly with load and speed. That's why we don't consider them in your variable losses, because they very slightly. They won't show you a very big change when load is changing. So we kept them in constant losses only. This variation are considered to be negligible. Okay, that is the reason they are considered as constant losses. So in variable losses, we have this stator copper loss and we have this rotor copper loss. Your motor efficiency, see, we have studied in a very elaborated manner that efficiency is nothing but it is output power upon input power. Okay, so in case of transformer, we have seen that we can write P output as input minus losses upon output. Okay, efficiency can be calculated as input minus losses upon input, or we can calculate as output upon losses plus output. Okay, both are the same thing. Both will eventually calculate your efficiency. So what are energy efficient motors? See, 2 to 8% percentage more efficiency than the standard motors. If your standard motor is having your somewhat 60, 70, 80% efficiency, if you are able to increase its efficiency to 2 to 8%, then you can say that your motor is now an energy efficient motor. ओके इसकी कोई करंट एफिशिएंसी है, अगर आप जो स्टैंडर्ड मोटर्स की एफिशिएंसी होती है, जैसे हमारे ट्रांसफार्मर की एफिशिएंसी 75 टू 98.5 थी, ऐसे ही जो हमारी स्टैंडर्ड मोटर्स हैं उनकी जो एफिशिएंसी, अगर आप उस मोटर से उस एफिशिएंसी से 2 से 8% भी एफिशिएंसी बढ़ा पाते हो, देन यू कैन से दैट you are having energy efficient motor. Okay, same output by consuming lesser amount of power. And what does it mean? It will give you the same output by consuming lesser amount of power. And how you can achieve them, like what changes you need to do if you want to make an energy efficient motor. So you can achieve it by providing more copper in the winding. You can have these reduced fan losses and higher quality thinner steel lamination you can use, so that you can have you can reduce your hysteresis or eddy current losses. You can have optimal air gap between rotor and stator, so that there will be minimum leakage flux, and maximum flux of your stator and rotor get linked to each other, and so and finally that will lead to your maximum energy power output. And again, there one more method to increase the efficiency, and that is by enhancing the length high quality by using the greater length high quality aluminum in the rotor frame. So that was a brief about your energy efficient motor, and how you can achieve it. So one second.